absolutely brilliant racing at the moment.
Hi, I'm Gugu. This is round one of the Bridgestone production cars. Welcome to the 2012 season of the West Bank Super Series.
Show. It's the start of the new 2012 season of the Bridgestone Production Car Championship. And reigning champions in their respective classes, Michael Stephen in Class A and Gary Fimato in Class T, will both know that counts for very little in a group of former champions. It's action from Zwartkops in Pretoria West. It's round number one.
For all the information on the West Bank Super Series, visit our website www.westbanksuperseries.co.za and follow our links to Twitter as well as our Facebook page to stay in the loop. But for right now, let's get back to the action. It's qualifying.
A crucial aspect to Class A is qualifying, and of course some points are up for grabs. Taylor was going all out to try and get up there, but unfortunately he was going to be outdone by a lot of cars out there, including Henny Groenewald and his teammate Etienne van der Linde making a welcome return back to Bridgestone production cars. Michael Stephen, though, was at the top. Confirmation of Stephen and van der Linde making it Audi and BMW front row.
Next row, Henny Groenewald and Anthony Taylor.
And you've got Chop Sapuka and Richard Pinard.
And then in the next row, Melville Priest and Kishore Pitt-Amber.
John Mayer, the final BMW, on the 9th position.
2012, it's a brand new season for the Bridgestone Production Car Championship. We start off on the high field at Zwartkops and leaving off where we left off, really. The reigning champion, Michael Stephen, and the Audi S4. Qualifying on top of the pole, you must be delighted.
Yeah, most definitely. You know, it's good to be back after quite a long break. And to be back where we started off, as you mentioned, you know, it's great. On pole, and I think it's going to be a very good race.
I think you're going to have a tough season. What do you think?
Yeah, most definitely. You know, the BMs and Subarus and are really quick. But yeah, we showed last year we've got what it takes, and we're going to go out there this year and try and defend the title.
Slightly different format to last year. It's 2 sprint races back-to-back, as it was in 2011, but then an endurance race coming a bit later, and first time out, we're getting a standing start, and the Audis are gone.
It's impressive. Of course, if it was ever going to happen, it was going to be the Audis all-wheel drive.
Yeah, look at that. The Subaru's up there too, so all the all-wheel drive cars leaving the rear-wheel drive machines behind. It's kind of what they expected to do when they got pole positions. We didn't see any last year, and Michael Stephen decided, right, time to give this a try, and it paid off and paid dividends. You got second place is Groenewald, then his teammate Chop Sapuka in the second of the Engine Extreme Audi cars, and then the 2 Afrox BMWs. Now, these 2 cars, good to see Etienne van der Linde back in, but Taylor's on his tail, and the 2 of them are going to go at it. Oh, in the background, look at that! Oh, he's got it completely wrong there. That is a big crash going out of turn 4.
John Mayer in that 3M BMW, 335i. What was he thinking?
Cold tyres going into Castle Edge corner and got it completely sideways. Backed it up, fortunately didn't hit the wall, so he should be able to get back in, but unfortunately he'd probably fall straight into the clutches of the Class T guys who started just behind us. We're concentrating on Class A as they come out of Goldwagen corner, and Pinard is already putting pressure on, and look, the pressure is starting to be felt by both those BMs.
Yeah, Richard Pinard did say in some interviews prior that he really wants to have a better season. He was always going to be the wingman to Henny Groenewald, so we'll have to see what it pans out. But it's important right now just to take it nice and easy, put some heat in those tyres, and early points in the bag, well, it bodes well for a championship, and they've got to start now.
Michael Stephen starting to pull away there from Henny Groenewald. There's a move on the inside. Will Taylor get through? Yes, he will. Van der Linde giving him a little bit more room, and he sneaks ahead. Pinard sitting in the best seat in the house and saw that maneuver. Maybe he can pull something off. So, lights on is Van der Linde. Lights off on the BM is Taylor. That's how you're going to differentiate between the 2 of them as they head up towards Sassel corner, and they've got a Sassel Subaru right on their tail.
For our TV audience, it might be a bit weird right now seeing the 2 BMWs without making mention of Melville Priest. He's moved on in his own camp, and he's driving the S4 Audi. And guess who's missing in that bunch?
Yeah, the other Audi, of course, of Johan Fourie, not making it here to the first round, but we expect to see him back, hopefully. He has had some inclinations of possibly moving to V8 supercars, so let's wait and see what happens with that. But check out this action. 2 BMWs, hardly anything in between the 2 of them. Van der Linde playing the tail gunner role to perfection, and he's got Pinard all over the back of him, and Hassier.
Well, of course, they have been dominant for many, many years, the BMWs, all right, but with Henny Grunewald in the mix and the Audis as well, and we're looking forward to a few more manufacturers coming in during the course of the season. I'm really looking forward to that. Very exciting stuff in times ahead.
Chop Sapuka is in that third spot and looking to close down on Henny Grunewald, trying to make it an engine Audi Extreme 1-2 here for the opening round. That would be pretty impressive. But Grunewald's got other things up his sleeve, I can tell you something. Look at how Taylor's pulled away. Etienne van der Linde, he's having to play, as I said, the defensive role there, and he's keeping Pinard out, but it is slowing him down and allowing Taylor to get away and close up onto the back end of Chop Sapuka.
Yeah, well, speaking of Chops, he's not a happy bunny as well, because we had some Class T cars going out with Class A in qualifying, so kind of ruffled his feathers, so he's not in a good place at the moment.
I think he's in a pretty decent spot at the moment. I have to disagree with you there. Third place is better than anything I can say other than the 1 and 2 in front of him, but he's pushing hard to try and close down. We're getting into 4 of 8, halfway mark, and you can see all of a sudden the BM is back, and it's right there with Sapuka.
Well, I was, talking about a mental point of view, really, more than anything else. But, oh, he gets it all wrong. See what I mean?
Yeah, commentator's curse. Sorry, Chopsy. Got that one completely wrong. In fact, looks like there might be some problems on that brake bias there. You can see the front brakes just cooking. And I think when he slammed on the anchors there, it just put the car sideways, and he wasn't able to catch it. So that's dropped him right out of contention now. But it's moved the BM up into third.
All right, so Henny Grunewald still on the charge and chasing down Michael Stephen. And, of course, those BMWs really have got a point to prove this year. It's imperative they get early points on the board, and this could be their day. Well, the day is still young. So, Grunewald chasing down, and then the BMWs, 2 of them back-to-back, and then Richard Pinard way in the background.
He's going to be closed down by Sapuka if he's managed to get back on track. But also watch out for, of course, Kish Patamba out there in the Pertec car, brand new machine, just behind Melville Priest. And, of course, right at the back there, Meyer in the 3M BMW after that big crash in Castle Edge on lap 1. He's recovered, but I think he's just in that Class T mix as well.
So here they come. It is the final lap, and Michael Stephen large and in charge, and this could be a great way to start off the season where it ended off last year.
So he gets up to the top of the hill towards Sassel Corner, the engine machine winning out here ahead of the Sassel Subaru, and the Afrox BMW is going to have to settle for third. I don't think he's going to be able to catch Henny Grunewald. Henny G, absolutely perfection. Got off the line, stuck in second place, wasn't able to catch Michael Stephen. Stephen's got that car on rails around here, and this is how it's going to end up. I think Etienne van der Linde will possibly get a little bit higher up if they invert the grid like they did last year. And if it's 4 cars that are inverted, he's going to go to pole. But checkered flag is about to come out for Michael Stephen.
Yeah, great race win as well. And well done to the Subaru. Henny Grunewald just keeping it in the mix as well, because that team really does want to do well this year as well, and they've got to put those points on the board. So confirmation as it stands in race number 1. So it's the black Audi of Michael Stephen, Henny Grunewald in the Subaru 2, Anthony Taylor 3rd, Etienne van der Linde, and then Richard Pinard 5th.
Melville Priest first time out, and his Audi finishes up in 6th place ahead of Kish Patamba. Chop Sapuka eventually recovered to 8th, and John Mayer in 9th.
First race of the brand new season, the Bridgestone Production Car Championship, in a great place, a great venue, great racetrack, and great weather, and a great win. Again, leaving off where he left off. Earlier on in the interviews, I said I'd see you later. Well, you haven't proved me wrong. Well done. A race win for you. Delighted.
Yeah, most definitely. I think this is 6 out of 9 or something, yeah, some crazy number. So, yeah, it's a great way to start the season, pole and race win. Obviously, it's reverse grid now, top 6 being inverted. Going to, see what we can do. It's going to be a bit of hard work. The guys are quick, but this track's always, proven difficult, when you're behind to overtake and, in the hot air. But we're going to go out there and we're going to go for the win. We did it last time, so there's no reason why we can't do it now.
Inverted grid, and unfortunately looks like the man who was on pole, Melville Priest, has decided to give that up. He wasn't quite on the pace. Not a bad effort there. In fact, a bit of a valiant effort from him to give up that pole position. And it's 6 cars inverted, which means that this is Pinard going into Renexcon corner into the lead. And what a great start from him.
Very unusual for a racing driver to do that. Normally, you get pole, you want to be there, but I can understand his reasoning about it. A second off the pace here at Zwartkops is a lot.
Michael Stephen, though, is a man to watch out for. He means business. He wants to retain this title. It's always a good thing to win a title, but it's even better if you can go back-to-back, and that's exactly what he wants to do. Keep that A1 plate on the Engine Extreme Audi.
What I do like about the organisers and keeping this strategy, it's go, 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 he's saying. Getting in the way of, looks like Anthony Taylor. Who's that? Henny Grunewald's going, come on, Ant, move it.
Yeah, I think Ant's just blocking a little bit there, trying to just put the Subaru under pressure. I'm not quite sure if he's got the same kind of pace of what we saw in race number 1, because his teammates already pulled about 2 car lengths ahead of him. And you can see frustration here from Groenewald.
On the way down to Goldwagen corner very shortly as well. And of course, one of my favorite parts of the track, you really have to actually get your line very good there to get the good drive on that straightaway. So it's BMWs right now chasing another Subaru, and that is Richard Pinnard leading them out at the moment. And there's the first.
Yeah, Scoobies and BMs at the front, that's what it's all about, I can tell you. These guys are going everything they're out, and whoa, late braking is required. That's exactly what you got out of Taylor. He came right onto the bumper, and in fact, a little bit of Ravings racing there, I think, being given from Etienne van der Linde on Pinnard. Pinnard slows. Look at that, van der Linde just pulls to the right-hand side, goes straight past him. So does Taylor. There's a problem on Pinnard's car.
Yeah, but some great onboard shots right now. You get a true reflection of the kind of speed they pull. And, of course, they're going into one of my favorite parts of the circuit, which is Castrol Edge Corner.
Oh, in the background, Patamba's got it sideways. Oh, the Pertec BM has gone sideways. Looks like the other 335s having some major problems out there. In fact, speaking of the BMs at the front end, this is the last time we're going to see these two cars in action. Their new cars are coming for Cape Town, so be prepared.
Which ones, the BMWs or the Subarus?
The BMWs. They've got new cars coming out, and this will be the final race for these two 335s. So they come down towards Goldwagen. Henny Groenewald tucked in behind the two BMWs. Michael Steven is coming. Let me tell you something. He means business. He's put in one of the fastest lap times we've seen all day long, and he's now closed right onto the back end of Henny Groenewald.
I've got to tell you, I'm underestimating Donovan van Heerden's sneakiness, because normally I've got my finger on the pulse with regard to what kind of cars are coming in the season. He's kept that very close to his chest.
Yes, indeed he has. There's also a couple of Class T machines coming out of his crew too, so expect some big things from ADF Motorsport as they head down onto the back straight away now. We're on board with Michael Steven. This is what it looks like when he's cockpit. This is a tough day in the saddle for him. Right now taking a first victory and having to come from 4th place now to close down on the two BMs and that Subaru.
Of course, the thing to point out as well, I mean, for our TV audience, do you know how hot it gets in that cockpit?
Well, we're looking at about 35 degrees Celsius here on the day, so inside you're going to be at least 45 degrees. So these guys are having to work for their money, there's no doubt about it. Van der Linde, though, got to say, what a welcome return to him. And this is where he's ended things off in his career in production car racing. He was at the top. He's going to be at the top with 1 lap to go now. He's got to just keep it ahead of his teammates.
He's the kind of man who's got a very quiet demeanor, I'll tell you what, but his racing does the talking, there's no doubt about that. Nice to see him, I agree with you.
Brilliant bit of driving, and of course an ex-South African champion on multiple levels, not only in production cars but in single-seaters too. So he has got what it takes when it comes to driving on the black stuff. Taylor, he wants it too. You can see he doesn't want that 19 on the car. He wants to take the number 9 off again.
So the two BMWs are doing what they do best, which is heading out the rest of the field, and often we see this from those cars as well, well packaged. And don't forget, we've got a really big race coming up. It's our 16 lap a little bit later on. Counts double the points, and we've kept that part of the system going as well.
Well, remember, Melville Priest was the man on pole position. He decided to go for the rolling start, which has actually advantaged both of these Afrox BMWs. Well, they didn't get the whole shot, and Pinnard got through first. He's now fallen out of it, and it's going to be Afrox BMW formation flying to the flag.
Well, Greg, I don't think we're going to be seeing another standing start, to be honest with you. I think Michael was just taking the mickey, to be honest with you.
No, it worked out well for him, though, but it's worked out brilliantly for Etienne van der Linde. What a welcome return to production car racing. The second victory of the day goes to Afrox BMW. Second place is his teammate, Anthony Taylor, and third place eventually going through to Henny Groenewald on the Subaru. So brilliant stuff from those top three. 4th place was Michael Steven. He's just off the pace there, about 4 seconds down. And Melville Priest into the top 5 on debut.
There wasn't much to come with Sapuka, Pitamber, Meyer and Pinnard following up.
Results of race number 2 in the Bridgestone Production Car Championship. No stranger to production car racing. Nice to see you, first of all, back in it. And you've got a really great car underneath you. And well done on a race win, Etienne van der Linde.
Yes, thank you very much. It's good to be back after a 3-year break. And yeah, like you said, cars were well prepared this weekend. The Afrox BMW were running like clockwork, and yeah, it's good to open up with a win and just get the confidence back and shake the rustiness off. So yeah, it puts us in good shape, I think, now for the rest of the season. And yeah, I'm looking forward to the new BMs coming later in the year.
Round 1 of the West Bank Super Series and round 1 of Bridgestone Production Cars has already given us some fantastic action. New drivers and some old ones making welcome returns, and some new teams on the grid, and some new formats to the start as well. Big crowds, and the fans are extremely happy with the kind of action already in Bridgestone Production Cars. we managed to catch up with Dick Sorensen and go one-on-one with him to find out what the plans are for 2012.
I'm Dick Sorensen, and I'm the CEO of Super Production Cars, and I'm the man that organises Bridgestone Production Cars. We are entering the new season, a brand new season of 2012, with a lot of optimism for the motor cars that we've got in our series. Class A in particular, the big class with the more expensive motor cars, is very exciting this year, and we will be fielding a much bigger team and a much bigger field than we did in 2011. There's a lot of enthusiasm, a lot of increase in interest from the motor industry to run motor cars in our series. We've changed the format of the race day series for this year. Instead of 4 races, we'll be running 3 races at most of the race meetings, 2 short ones, 1 longer one, and then at 2 of the rounds in the championship, we will run endurance races over 2 hours. For this year, we have a new dawn on technical rules. We have set the rules for the year, we've set the specification for the year, the weights, the restrictor sizes and the amount of boost that each car runs. And our aim is to leave that level of performance for the whole year and let each of the teams work at catching up on the other teams as they go forward. As is the case every year, we've got the champions from the year before returning to defend their title. Michael Stevens, a typical example in the S4 Audi. Class A will be world-class racing this year. Not only world-class racing, like touring cars in other countries, but world-class rating of a unique nature throughout the world for production cars.
Bridgestone pole position flag being given to the man who got the fastest lap time in race number 2, and that of course is Etienne van der Linde.
Well, it has changed over last year, because normally that was the first race setting down the fastest time would guarantee you a top spot in the final race, but not this time around. I think they've been playing around with these strategies.
So we're going to race number 3 now, Steve. It is the endurance race. 16 laps of action coming our way. Double points up for grabs. This is the format for Bridgestone Production Cars 2012.
Certainly agree with you, and it's in a great and healthy state for the new season. So we're going racing. Looking forward to this one. It's going to be an absolute cracker. Van der Linde gets it all and sends down a message to the rest of the gaggle.
Down into turn 1 though, he's got his BMW teammate right on his tail, and Michael Stephen already starting to put pressure on. He forces Taylor a little bit wide. This is an awesome angle. Look at this on the inside. Taylor gets the inside line and goes up, but they're side by side coming out of our X-Con corner, heading towards turn 3. BMW versus Audi, and the Audi just slots in behind and thinks to himself, hold on a second, we've still got 16 laps to go.
We have, and it's going to be an absolute nightmare, I can tell you, for Melville Priest, because his power steering is gone. He's going to have to put that Audi around there by just sheer muscle alone.
Let's see if he's able to do the entire race. He's had a little bit of problems in the setup, but of course it is development on that car still, so we look forward to seeing improvements every single time in the Mueller Motorsport camp. Now they come into the top of the hill, Sassel corner, and it's a Sassel Subaru tucked in between 2 engine extreme Audis. Absolutely brilliant stuff there. Chop Sapuka actually leading out, and Michael Stephen having to do all the work, but he eventually fell back, and Stephen is now 3rd. Chop Sapuka going onto the attack into Goldwagen, and Grunewald slams the door.
Well, I wouldn't be surprised, really, to be honest with you, that he wasn't showing his finger to get a hurry up, because the rest of the boys are coming up very, very quickly. But is this going to be an engine Audi battle with the Subarus? He thinks there could be a possibility that that could be the case.
Afrox BMWs 1 and 2. There we go. There's Chop Sapuka. This time a little bit better than the last time we saw him go through turn 2. He's got that car sorted out now. The brake bias was a problem. He said he hit the brakes. It didn't brake at all. Then he slammed on the brakes and it locked up completely and got him sideways. But it looks like the Terry Moss team have got that all sorted out. He sits in 5th place and wants to close down on Grunewald.
Van der Linde leading them out. Taylor is 2nd. He'll want some points today. There's no doubt about it. And what better way to go through? We're on board right now with Anthony Taylor, Afrox BMW. And still with those acropovic pipes. I've said it last year, they still sound like stealth bombers, Greg.
Yeah, they're amazing sounding parts on those cars, that's for sure. They come out of Sassel corner, double right-hander through Zwartkops and now into Execuline. Execuline corner, one of the first left-handers they do on the circuit. Then they come down to the second one, which is Goldwagen. And into Goldwagen, you see the two BMs have been closed down now dramatically by Michael Steven and by Henrik Grunewald. So we've got a four-way battle here, and we're only into about lap 2.
Yeah, and also, tyres are going to play a role here. We've got a brand new Bridgestone tyre for this series, and for all intents and purposes, oh, look at the slide on that car. But as I said, for all intents and purposes, it has quickened the lap times by a second, or at least half a second, so I'm told.
So as they come out of our next corner, look at how Taylor's battling now. Him and Van der Linde say to Etienne, come on, let's get on. Michael is right here. I cannot afford to be behind you. If you're going slowly, move out of the way and let me come through.
That's unheard of.
Team orders, there are none in this team, that's for sure. It's every man for himself, and you can see just how hard Taylor's having to work. He knows his teammates got pace. He knows that he's a good driver. So it's basically up to him to find a way through. Now, Michael Stevens got other things up his sleeve as he comes up onto Sassel corner, and he's very late on the brakes. He definitely showed a wheel there, and Taylor would have seen it. Gone defensive, kept him at bay, but has slowed him slightly on Van der Linde.
Yeah, certainly right now, Greg, the BMWs are looking good, and we've seen them, have their own version of Swan Lake on many racetracks. Team orders, yeah, right. Go Van der Linde.
Etienne Van der Linde just going for a double victory here. Hopefully he can score some serious points to put him in good stead for the season. We go down to Cape Town. In Cape Town, I can tell you something, Van der Linde is one of the most spectacular drivers you'll ever see. And hopefully we'll have Johan Farid.
Oh, what move!
Speaking of spectacular, round the outside of Renexcon. Taylor goes round the outside. Can he make a stick? Sideways. He gets it there. Has he been able to do it? Yes, he has.
He caught Van der Linde out snoozing there, I'm afraid.
Brilliant bit of driving from...
Oh, look at this.
Here comes Michael Steven. He's going to try and do the same thing. Oh, Van der Linde goes defensive. He goes across. He does that one move he's allowed to make. But Steven's got better drive. Oh, a little Rubbings Racing tapped him through Castle Edge.
Fantastic. What a move by Taylor. Brilliant.
Here they come. 4x4. 2x2 as they go into Sassel corner. Henrik Grunewald around the outside. Michael Steven goes and forces him a little bit wide. And yes, there is a touch. I was going to say nearly a touch, but then we got one. So Michael Steven and Van der Linde have touched about 3 or 4 times. And now Sapuka's there too.
How long's that back bumper going to be staying? Oh, gets 2 wheels off the ground as well. Sapuka is charging. Oh, we got some smoke here. Somebody's in trouble, I reckon.
Michael Steven with a little bit of smoke coming out of the engine now. Let's see whether or not that's going to affect him as they come down towards BMW Accessories corner. It's BM's 1 and 2. Audi in 3rd place. Subaru is 4. Sapuka in 5. And here onto the braking box. Whoa! Massive flame out of the Audi.
Oh.
And Audi's on fire. There's problems for Steven.
Dial 911.
Get the fire crew down there. There's no doubt about that engine's going to go. Yes, indeed. Pulls onto the sideline, but that hasn't stopped the action. Sapuka says, okay, if my teammate's gone, I've got to take the fight to Henrik Grunewald, and he goes around the outside of 3. Where do you see that?
Never, anywhere, you don't.
Brilliant bit of driving there from Top Sapuka, getting around the outside of turn 3. Henrik Grunewald thought to himself, where did he find the grip out there? Michael, get out the car, bud. That thing is on fire.
Yeah, you don't need those kind of licks.
Here we go. Oh, man. Get out of the car. Yes, quick change of underwear as well, I think.
Wow, fantastic stuff as well, what we're seeing. So, but back to the racing, because it's getting really exciting and going hammer and tongs. And is Henrik Grunewald going to get stuck in the middle of this?
Well, he's right there behind Sapuka. Sapuka's got through around turn 3. How he did that, I have no idea. Where he found grip out there, only Chops will tell us. But have a look at the back end of Etienne Van der Linde's BM. It is slightly second-hand, and there is some serious damage. Will that affect him? Will the COC see that and maybe call it as a dangerous maneuver on the circuit? And hopefully he doesn't have to be brought in. But this car has had better days.
Well, I mean, if it's still attached, I mean, it's still part of the racing car at the moment. I mean, we can't indicate to anybody whether that's going to fall off. You just don't know, do you?
Well, the thing is that the COC might see it as a dangerous thing on the car and possibly a danger to other drivers on the circuit. That's what he's got to take into account. Whether or not that gets called, we'll wait and see. Right now, he's still out there, and he's still in 2nd place.
Scrap metal.
Well, they're not metal anymore. I think they're carbon fiber, those ones.
All right, let's get back down to it. Final lap, and this is really exciting stuff. Pit Amber just circulating around. I do like the colour on that car, though.
Oh, not when you get pumped like that, though.
Hello.
A slight mistake from Kisper Tamber in Renexcon corner, and And yes, Richard Pinot says, okay, the frustration is, I've had enough of it. Take that.
At least take him out to dinner first.
Oh, exactly. Right, so closing stages into the final corners. In fact, we've caught up to second and third of Class T as we come in there. That's Germany being overtaken by Sapuka, but it is all about Anthony Taylor. Since he got to the front at the beginning of this endurance race, he has taken it to everybody and shown them the way around. Brilliant driving from the Afrox BMW man, and that's Afrox BMW's second race victory for the day. Second place goes to his teammate Etienne van der Linde. Chop Sapuka, a brilliant drive to third. Grunewald hangs on just ahead of Melville Priest in the Audi.
In sixth, it was the other Subaru, Richard Pinot, Pit Amber, John Mayer, who did not finish, and also Michael Stephen.
A smiling Anthony Taylor. I didn't think it would be too long before we were speaking to you again, but a great package for the car, and the team did really, really well.
Yeah, and I must say, you know, the BMW is superb. It's so well sorted. We literally just dusted the dust off from the last race from last year and brought it out this weekend, and the performance is there. You know, we were a little bit concerned with the temperatures because it's fairly warm today, but I must say the car held it out superbly, and what a great way to start the season.
Indeed it is for Anthony Taylor and Team Afrox BMW. There's the confirmation, 36 leading it out. Etienne van der Linde, Henrik Grunewald. Michael Stephen, the reigning champion who got off to a great start, is in fourth so far.
The next event, we head down to the mother city, to Cape Town and Killarney on the 31st of March. Join us there. Racing starts at 10 o'clock. After the break, Class T action from Zwartkops. In Class T, the battle resumes between Ford and Volkswagen as Germany goes fourth quickest. Gennaro Bonafide in the Ferrado GTI comes through for third, and Formato in second, being outdone by T21 Graham Nathan.
So confirmation, front row, Graham Nathan, Gary Formato. What a front row.
Second row, Gennaro Bonafide and Sean Dermody.
Next row is the Rustenburg Rocket, Michael van Rooyen and Jacques Joubert.
Right at the back, Devin Robertson in the Big Boss Auto Mini.
Former champion in this Class T was Graham Nathan. You only got pipped last season, and you've got a big battle on your hand. But you're starting it out in a good way. Pole position for the first round here at Zwartkop. You must be delighted.
I'm over the moon. My car has done amazing things for me. We got it together like on Wednesday night, Thursday night. In fact, we brought it straight here on Friday. Steve Green has done a superb job. Dean Jeffrey, a great job. Indy Oil are backing me again this year. Thank you very much to them. They're just incredible. As you can see, if you look around you, this pit lane is just Indy Oil everywhere, doing a superb job. I've got a new teammate now, Jacques, who's going to campaign in my old car, which is now his new car. And this season's going to be flat out from the start. It's going to be wonderful.
2012, a brand new season for the Bridgestone Production Car Championship Class T, and one of the normal protagonists, and what a great driver you are, Michael van Rooyen. Qualifying just hasn't gone the way you thought it would. What happened?
Steve, we think on one of the first flyers the engine mountings broke off, and I carried on, and eventually it broke off the oil filter and spilled all the oil of the engine, and that was luckily as I came into the pits. Now we don't know how much time that cost us in qualifying. We only qualified 5th, I believe, so yeah, we'll see. They're frantically busy fixing the car, so hopefully we'll be ready for the first race.
2012 with a brand new season of the Bridgestone Production Car Championship. We're back for another exhilarating year of racing, and reigning champ of Class T, Gary Formato. What is a great success you had last year. Of course, you want to build on that this year as well, don't you?
Yeah, of course we do. I mean, look, last year wasn't easy. We were third place at one stage in the championship. We had a great second half of the season, and no doubt that's made everybody else work on their cars and try and find some of the pace, which they've found, I believe, today. It's going to be a tough race. I think the times you see now in qualifying are going to be far more relevant to what we had previously. We don't have the weight penalty anymore, which is a great credit to the organisers for that. So let's see. A new tyre today. How's it going to last? I don't know. Would like to be on pole, obviously, but second will do.
Graham Nathan starts on pole with Gary Famato alongside him. So here we go. It's Star Wars again between the two of them. This basically went on all season long. But what a start there from Gennaro Bonafide. He snuck through and caught everybody in the Ford camp sleeping and got a second.
Well, that was a standing start, wasn't it?
So it looks like the GTIs off the line are slightly better than those ST Focuses as they come out of an X-Con corner now. Jacques Joubert is up into 5th place. That's teammate now in the Indy Oil camp. And Nathan, I think he's going to be happy about the fact that he's got someone to help him out. Behind them, looks like a good start from Michael van Rooyen and the Williams Hunt Opel, but we're on board with Bonafide.
Now, has Nathan ever needed anybody to actually be a wingman? I don't think so. Of course, Joubert is out of that X car. It's a championship car because Nathan put it on a championship. And it's the Golf 5. Of course, Nathan is riding the Golf 6, as is Gennaro Bonafide, who we're watching right now.
Under big pressure now from Gary Famato. He wants through. He cannot afford to let Nathan get away. He's already got that point lead over him by taking pole position. So let's see whether or not he's able to keep it at the front end. Look at this little battle at the back. Jacques Joubert, Michael van Rooyen, and just behind them in the Big Boss Auto Machine, that is Devin Robertson in the Mini. So another manufacturer coming to play here in Bridgestone Production Cars, Class T. It'll only be for a while because they're busy developing a Renault Megane.
Well, one has to also consider the fact that bad luck does come into play here. And once again, it seems to dog Michael van Rooyen and the OPC Opel Astra. Tremendously bad luck. And you've probably got some information on what actually happened.
Yeah, unfortunately in the qualifying there, just broken engine mounting and it went through and the shock actually hit the oil filter and just destroyed the car's oil all over the circuit. So he had to fall out on his quickest lap. He was looking really good and possibly would have been on the front row. But the Williams Hunt team came in and, of course, Grant van Schalkwyk at the head there, got the car sorted out, and he's back on the grid and racing.
Yeah, started 5th on that grid as well, so not too bad, not a train smash. Oh, getting it a little bit squirrely there. Gary Famato getting some wheels on the dirt. Up the hill to Sassel and then into Zoc, Greg.
Look at these guys, absolutely brilliant stuff. Michael van Rooyen is putting massive pressure onto Jacques Joubert. Joubert, lots of time and experience on this circuit, comes from Super Hatch. He's also been involved in Silver Cup racing, so this guy's got a little bit what it takes around this track. And Michael van Rooyen in the Williams Hunt Opel is definitely going to have to work hard to get past the second of the Indy Oil GTIs.
Team Ford Focus, ST's looking good. Dumini and Famato, that team.
Whoa, hello, Big Boss Auto. Justin, we need a chat, bud. What happened with the front bumper there and the bonnet? That's just popped open and Devin Robertson is circulating with the bonnet and the windscreen completely smashed. So your Polo Cup champion has a big welcome to Bridgestone Production Cars.
Lap 6, still Nathan out there and flying, is going to put the marker down. Bonafide isn't finished with it either at the moment, and of course the two Fords still need to improve right now.
So GTI's 1 and 2, and Nathan's going to be happy with this. If he can keep it all together, Gennaro Bonafide, well, he'd like to take the victory, but I'm not quite sure if he's got the pace of Nathan right now. He's matching him almost every single lap around the track, but he just can't get past him. And the reason why he can't get past is he's having to look every now and again in the rearview mirror. It's pretty evenly spaced, this gap at the front.
Yeah, I completely agree with you as well. I mean, nobody's, looking... Now, again, we've seen that in the past from that Indy Oil GTI. Some of the lights flashing. At times, it's been the brake bias or the ABS. So that problem, is it inherent? Is it part of the GTI makeup?
Yeah, it's difficult to get right, and I know that a lot of the teams have been trying to sort it out, especially with Rob Green Motorsport involved with Nathan's. So I think they're going to get that all sorted out. Right now, it seems to be working, but watch out. If those hazard lights start coming on more and more, that's when we start to see problems with that ABS system. And, of course, it is a standard option on all GTIs, so they don't really have a choice other than to run it. But in a race car, you don't want it.
Yeah, and certainly when you're doing an enduro race at night as well.
Here we go into the closing stages of race number 1. Now they're catching onto the back end of the Class A competitors. John Mayer, we saw earlier on, going off in turn 4, I should say, with the Castrol Edge corner, and he got it completely wrong. Now the GTIs and the Ford are starting to close down on him.
Yeah, that's not going to bode well at all. I mean, you don't want to get in the mix of those two. And anyway, but Nathan really doing a sterling job out here as well. Qualified, put it on pole, and it looks like he's going to go flag to flag, barring no bad luck.
You can see Chop Sapuka, also another man who got involved in some action earlier on in Class A. They're also starting to close down on him. But it's GTI's 1 and 2, and Nathan and Bonafide doing a superb job for the brand of Volkswagen to keep those two cars out in front of the Ford. And the Ford, well, Famato, he knows he's got a car that can beat these two. and he's basically just getting up there and getting this car all sorted out for 2012's race season.
Yeah, I'm a bit concerned at the moment. Unfortunately, hopefully this race will be over very quickly, but Nathan is moving very, very close to John Mayer in that Class A BMW, who's not going around. He's a new driver to this series as well. He'll get in the middle here, and of course the danger is he gets involved in a championship and he's got no business being in.
Well, let's have a look and see if he's actually able to be caught by these guys as they come out of Zwartkops. It's a double right-hander. They flick it over into Execuline corner. It's Indy Oil GTI out in front, and Nathan absolutely where he wants to be. Gennaro Bonafide has a look, but he's not close enough. That's a bit of a weird look there from Gennaro Bonafide, but I think he's just basically showing the car to Nathan. He doesn't have to worry because the flag's out. Nathan takes the victory. Bonafide comes through in second place, and you can see immediately opens the door. That's how hot it is in these cars.
Can you imagine that? No incident in Class T.
Well, that's the very first time we've seen that. Nathan Bonafide and Famato, your top three. Germany in fourth, and Michael van Rooyen and the Williams Hunt Hopel in fifth.
6, Jacques Joubert in the other Indy Golf 5, and then Devin Robertson in the Big Boss Auto Mini.
Race number 1 complete. Outstanding. You were confident from the start of the race, Graham, Nathan. It looked so easy. Although there was some pressure to bear, Gennaro Bonafide was coming up. Famato wasn't that far behind, but a great way to start the day.
A great way to start the day for everybody. Yeah, what can I say? We did a great job. The car went very well. I got a little bit of a break, and then I started to look after the tires a little bit because we needed to, but a great job all around. The guys did a superb job, and we just did what we needed to do. The whole Indy Oil Racing team pulled together and did what was needed.
Well, it's fantastic. I mean, this has actually fallen right into your plate at the moment, apart from the standing start, that is. Of course, 6 cars inverted. It really puts you in a strong position now to pick up some good points.
Yes, it does. The start will again be critical, starting in number 2. So hopefully I can get in front and get away from them.
Side by side with Jacques Joubert as they come across the line is Michael van Rooyen, the man who got 5th in race number 1. And of course, it's 6 cars inverted for race 2. That's why the Opel is up there, and Germany into 3rd. As Famato tucks in behind his teammate, he's going to use Germany, I'm sure, to get to the front as quickly as possible. Germany moves out the way and opens the door. Famato's through to 3rd.
Sharp little right-hander, you go through there around about 60 kilometers now, and then get on the gas, really, really big. So, leading out the Fords as well. And where is that Mini? They've managed to sort that Mini out at the moment.
It's called duct tape. Duct tape and some imaginative sticking of that duct tape to get the bonnet down. But Devin Robertson is back. Yes, indeed. The Big Boss Auto Mini at the back end of the field. Watch for him because, you know what? He's got a lot of weight in the car. He's having to work for the first time in Bridgestone production cars. It's a whole nother story compared to engine Volkswagen Cup. But he is the champion from Volkswagen Cup, so he knows how to drive. There's no doubt about it.
Okay, so Michael van Rooyen doing the business right now. It'd be nice to see him with all the bad luck that they've had. Joubert chasing him down at the moment. Of course, he ran wide at turn 4 and allowed Michael to get through. So Michael's in charge at the moment, but he'll know the pressure is coming, Greg.
Graham Nathan's got past Germany, so has Gennaro Bonafide. So Gary Famato now has 2 GTIs in his rearview mirrors. He's got 1 in front of him, which he wants to get past as quickly as possible. Jubs is not the easiest man to pass, I can tell you. And especially when he's in this kind of form, Gary Famato is going to have to use all his experience to try and get past the youngster. But it is Michael van Rooyen at the front end, and he is the man who dictates the pace right now. He is in the Williams Hunt Opel, and he is really looking good. Change around from race number 1 and all the problems he had in qualifying.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to be able to hold off Gary Famato. And as I say that, he goes on the inside. Brilliant. A 2.5-litre engine against a 2-litre of the Golf. So, and of course, no ballast weight to worry about. I mean, this is pure racing at its best. So, that means now that Famato will be chasing and putting pressure on Michael van Rooyen.
Brilliant bit of stuff there from Jubs. This one, Jacques Joubert's car. Awesome onboard stuff as we saw Famato sneak through into second. Here comes Bonafide. Oh, Bonafide gets side by side. So the Ferrado man going at it with the Indy Oil GTIs. And who's going to win out? Oh, man, this is awesome. This is wing mirror to wing mirror. Look at that. There is the Ferrado car. Jubs has to use the inside there, and Joubert is absolutely flying. Look at that. He's just not able to stay with that Gennaro Bonafide machine. But great driving from Gennaro. He set that up 2 corners back.
So Golf 5 versus Golf 6. It is lap 7 of 8. And Michael van Rooyen, if nothing goes wrong, he could win this.
Famato got held up slightly there by John Mayer, but he's got through on the 3M machine. Gennaro Bonafide, he's going to try and find a way past the BMW because that's got a little bit of extra power, so it's not easy to do. Famato looks to go hunting for that Williams Hunt Opel at the front, and you can see just how well the Rustenburg rocket is going. He's got to the front, he's led almost from the start, and only only man to outdo him was into turn 1 and 2. That was Zwartkops, who's now fallen slightly further back.
What's wrong with this picture? We've got a Class A car in the middle of Class T.
That's because John Mayer just fell back slightly from the Class A machines. Here comes Michael van Rooyen, though, down the back straight away. Gary Formato, you've only got 4 more corners to try and do this, bud. You've got to go all at it. And down towards, here we go, into Castro.
Oh!
Whoa! The wheels have fallen off completely on that car.
That's not even funny.
Oh, exactly. Not for Michael van Rooyen anyway. What happened there? The front right just came off the car, and it's ended up almost over the barrier. Formato now has the lead. John Mayer going side by side with him. He doesn't have to fight with John. Oh, I don't know what's going on here. Mayer hassling Formato for position. This is not Class A versus Class T, boys. You're all on your own, and Formato's actually been slowed down slightly by John Mayer. And here comes Bonafide. Oh, he's giving him a run. Oh, he's turned him around. Formato's turned Mayer around and lost
And he's
position.
taken himself out of the
What are you thinking, Gary Formato?
Bonafide
Bonafide's going to get the win here.
goes through the carnage and he's going to win it on the death. Oh,
Unbelievable. Right, so Bonafide comes through. He takes the victory after Gary Formato, just completely frustrated with the BM, tries to turn him around and unfortunately loses out both times. Here we get the replay of the Bridgestone tyre winning out the battle between itself and the Opel. They side by side as they go into the giddy litter, but the tyre wins and comes off. That is completely unnatural for a wheel to do that. But unfortunately, that was the end of Michael van Rooyen's race. Here we see Formato frustrated, pushes the BM once, then just turns him round, and unfortunately he also loses out because he gets tagged by the front end of the BMW, tries to recover, doesn't quite get it right, and Gennaro Bonafide, brilliant bit of rally style driving there, goes around the outside on the grass and wins out the race.
Drama. So, Gennaro Bonafide, Jacques Joubert, Gary Formato third, Sean Duminy, and then Devin Robertson in the midi fifth.
Graham Nathan eventually in 6th place, and Michael van Rooyen 1 lap down, still classified in 7th.
Conclusion of race number 2 in the first round of the Bridgestone Championship. A very hot and sweaty Gennaro Bonafide, outstanding. You looked really good in the first race and got a good position there, but I'll tell you what, the light opened up and you've managed a race win out of nothing. You must be absolutely delighted.
No, for sure. That Ferrari Racing Golf, I mean, yesterday we were fastest all 3 sessions. We had the race pace. This morning's qualifying was a bit disappointing. We were 3rd. First race we got ahead and stayed with Graham, and we just managed the race from there. But the second race... It was an absolute, it was cooked. I mean, one of the Class A cars got involved and unfortunately had an accident or something, and Gary and Michael were going hammer and tongs. Turn 4, Michael's wheel fell off. Then going up to the top, a collision between Gary and the Class A car, and hey, here's a victory for me.
Bridgestone Production Car Championship Racing has come to be known for one thing: exhilarating and close racing, filled with drama. We don't write these scripts, we just watch them unfold, and you were in one of them again.
Seems like we always are, but yeah, got to, unfortunately just apologise to Graham. We got together on the slowing down lap there. He was waving at the crowd. I was trying to keep the car cool, and there was a bit of a silly incident anyway. But yeah, it wasn't the big issue, I don't think, from my point of view. But I mean, in the second race now, we're having a great race. I mean, Michael and I had an absolute ding-dong battle. I don't think we touched a bump or a mirror or anything. That's the way to do it. And Gennaro and I as well, obviously in a good race after that, and we just got messed up by an absolute fool in a Class A car that, in all honesty, probably shouldn't even be here and allowed to have a license to race. So it's very frustrating when that sort of thing happens. But I suppose, you know, what can we do?
Race number 2 of the Bridgestone Production Car Championship, and newcomer to this series, driving with a professional, John Mayer, in the 3M sponsored BMW. Not exactly the kind of debut you were looking for.
Yeah, look, it was a bit of a bumping and barging all the way, and look, it was my first race ever, and yeah, I'm still enjoying it. Hey, that's what it's about. I wasn't out here to win it, so yeah, it was a good race, bit of bumping, unfortunate, but that's racing, I suppose.
So we've got 2 races down in Class T, and already the action has started in a big way.
No quarter asked and no quarter given.
As we saw in Class A, some new competitors and some new teams. In Class T, a new team also joining the Bridgestone Production Cars Class T, and some development cars coming through a little bit later on in the likes of the Renault Megane from Big Boss. We go one-on-one with Dick Sorensen to find out plans for Class T.
Class T, of course, some consider to be the junior class, but it has the potential to be the class of the future. We've got a lot of performance levelling. All the cars will run the same turbocharger this year. Many of them are the same weight. There are some exceptions, and most of them have got the same size restrictor. 2-litre cars hold a lot for the future. 2-litre turbocharged cars are very similar to what a lot of the manufacturers are making for the road, because they are motor cars that have good emissions. They are motor cars that don't use too much fuel, the sort of things that we're all interested in going forward. We haven't got all the cars that have been promised us for the first race. 2 Minis, which we're all looking forward to, and the 2 new Renaults definitely won't be ready for the first race. But we will have 1 Mini in privateer hands that will run in the first race to give us a taste of what the future might look like. As is the case every year, we've got the champions from the year before returning to defend their title. Gary Formato returns in the Ford Focus ST to defend his championship. Class T is a good place to be, and we will turn on a very good show as we go forward. So in 2012, Class T will be very competitive. You will see some of the best racing you've ever seen, but we can talk all day about how the racing will be. Judge for yourself. Back to the racing.
Battle-scarred and on pole position is Gary Formato's Focus ST, looking to possibly steal away the feature race today.
And he's here because he set the fastest lap time in race number 2, which is a big thing for him. Getting the thumbs up from Sean Duminy as well. Is it going to be a Ford 1-2? Well, it's not like we haven't seen that throughout past seasons.
That man means business. Gary Formato and Nathan going to be going at it now to try and see who's going to take away the most points, leaving Zwartkops and heading to Cape Town.
So 16 laps of sheer racing pleasure. And are the tyres going to hold out here, Greg?
Let's wait and see, because it is a slightly longer format of race. And down into turn 1, Formato gets away. Here comes Michael van Rooyen on the inside. In fact, he's slowing down there, so Van Rooyen's car seems to have a little bit of a problem as they come through into an X-Con corner. Gennaro Bonafide and Nathan are side by side. Nathan wins out with the inside line. Duminy, Van Rooyen and Jacques Joubert.
Yeah, Gulf Fire's doing a good job this particular race meet as well, in that it'll give him some comfort going into Cape Town. And the Gulfs always seem to be on song there in Cape Town. But we're on board.
Side by side stuff between the 2 GTI 6s, and the Ferrodo man losing out again into Castle Edge. Indy Oil Machine sneaking through, and Gennaro Bonafide has to try and find another way past. Graham Nathan is not the easiest man to pass. He's battled with him all season long last year, and I think it's going to be more of the same here in 2012.
Tight right-hander, of course. What is Gennaro Bonafide's strategy? I'm just going to sit here and wait for things to open up.
I think that's exactly what he wants to do. When Nathan gets up to Formato, things might get a little bit harder than what they are right now. Taking it easy on the first lap. We have still got another 15 to go. And as you said, tyres are going to be a major role player here, that is for sure. The new compounds on those Bridgestones haven't been tested to this length of time or race yet. So let's wait and see.
So, leading out Gary Formato, it is Nathan, Gennaro Bonafide, 1, 2, and 3. There's your podium right now as it all stands, but things can change very quickly in this type of racing.
Duminy down into an X-Con corner right on his tail. That was Jacques Joubert, I think, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, the second Indy Oil GTI. Then just behind them was Michael van Rooyen. Unfortunately, Michael van Rooyen, with a bit of a problem on the car, has slowed up dramatically, and that's given a chance to Devon Robertson to even close down on him. So the Big Boss Auto Mini is in with a chance of spoiling the day for the usual contenders.
Yeah, you've got to feel sorry for Michael van Rooyen and the rest of his team. I know his family are down here as well. They've had torridly bad luck, haven't they?
Yeah, he's coming to a circuit that he likes, though. Killarney, he goes really well at. We're at to 10 of 16, and Nathan still hasn't found a way to close in on Formato. In fact, he's slowing down slightly, so I wonder if there's a problem on that car.
What I like about this series at the moment, Greg, is that they're not being penalised with...
Hello. That's the tyre. Wow. The tyre has just completely disintegrated on the car. Oh, man, that's big problems there for Graham Nathan. He is slowing big time now. You look at it, just pieces of rubber falling off. I think it's the front right, if I'm not mistaken. Let's wait and see if we can get a better shot of it. But you could just see the tyre rubber completely off the side of that car, and that's going to give Duminy a chance of closing up and even passing Graham Nathan. He's going to have to go in and get this changed. And what a pity. He's in second place right now. Germany closing down on him. And you can see just no handling on the car whatsoever.
Yeah, I can only shake my head. I've never seen this before.
Completely disintegrated. Germany comes up and closes and actually goes past him. And he's got no answer to Sean Germany. Now, remember last year, the Fords were kind of responsible for all the problems that they had with tyres. This time, it's gone to Volkswagen, and Nathan pulls in for a quick change.
Yeah, it's really going to hamper him as well. He's going to be really annoyed with that as well. I mean, everything's been working well for the car, and then you don't expect your tyre to go off like that. So, Formato in the pound seats, and then there's the other Golf, and that is Jacques Chabert, who's doing a sterling job, I might add, here on this theme-piece race of 16 laps. We're on board with him right now.
Closing in on Germany, second place man, into a next-con corner. Very difficult corner to get right in any form of racing. I can tell you something, the downhill off-camber section, and now everything she's got down the back straightaway. Sean Germany in second. Joubert is third. So is his tyres going to be able to hang on? The Indy Oil team, absolutely brilliant stuff from the two of them so far. Here comes Gennaro Bonafide into pit lane 2. Looks like he's got a problem. Oh man, what has gone wrong with the GTIs here? Is it possibly because of Gennaro Bonafide, or is it a tyre problem again? Here comes Jacques Joubert. This is the man we spoke about a little bit earlier on, and of course, he's had a fantastic day's racing so far.
Yeah, he's brilliant.
And he's in the pit lane.
No ways.
3 GTIs in the pit lane. The Volkswagens are eating these Bridgestones. Well, correction there, it actually wasn't a Bridgestone problem on the Ferrado GTI. It looks like there's an engine problem there, but it's definitely the front right of the second Indy Oil, same as Graham Nathan. And unfortunately, those two tyres puncturing in the feature race.
Well, nobody else is having the problem with the tyres at the moment, so yeah, it must be the setup on the GTIs. I just don't like them. I don't know. Well, whatever it is. Oh, Big Boss Mini. I love these cars.
He's in third, dude. He's gone to third place because of the GTI's problem. So, Big Boss Auto Mini is in third behind the two Fords. And Gary Formato, while he'll be happy, he's had no problems on his car in the second race. And, well, he had some problems with the BMW, I should say. But in the third race, he's now there and in with a chance of taking victory.
Fantastic. You know what? I'm looking forward to it because we did say that further on in the season we're going to see some more minis. I'm looking forward to that. I love minis.
Germany is in second place. He's got Graham Nathan behind him, but Nathan 2 laps down. So he's just going to circulate and take the checkered flag. Formato's taking the victory. Germany takes second. Nathan comes through in third, but he is a little bit further down, which gives third place on the day to the Big Boss Auto Mini of Devon Robertson. Nathan in fourth and his teammate Jacques Joubert in the second Indy Oil GTI in fifth.
2 cars not finished, Gennaro Bonafide and Michael van Rooyen.
Outstanding result for Ford. Our reigning champion, Gary Formato, the double today. Well done.
Yeah, good. These long races suit us, and you know, we knew that the tyres wouldn't be an issue after the first 2 races. You know, you see what happened with the Golfs. We had our own problems. And really, it's just a matter of really conserving the tyres, just going there and driving as smooth as possible. I didn't know how fast Graham was at that stage. He seemed to be able to close up to me quite easily. His car's very good in the brakes and going into some of the slower stuff, which is obviously a lot of it here at Zwartkops. So I was concerned about that, but just stuck to my plan basically, and knew it was about the tyres, and it worked out in the end. Although I've got to say that it was close. I mean, we did have some issues there, but we managed to get it to the end.
Our Ford 1-2, and part of that 1-2 was Sean Germany. Well done.
Thanks, Steve. I think that 16-lapper, you need to look after your tyres. As you see, I think it was Nathan, Joubert and Bonafide with issues. Gary and I had issues towards the end on the last lap, so luckily we made it. But we looked after them. We got a 1-2, and that's what we wanted, and I'm very happy with it.
Championship points after round number 1. Gary Formato, Graham Nathan with all the bad luck, still second. Sean Germany, Gennaro Bonafide, Jacques Joubert, Devon Robinson and Michael van Rooyen with 4 points.
For more information on the Westbank Super Series, log on to their website and get the official link to the Facebook site. You can also follow all the results on Twitter.
World-class racing at its best. That was the Bridgestone production cars. Next up is the South African Motorcycle Championship. I'm Gugu Zulu. See you then.